Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and today I'm finally bringing you Sloppy Joes, which this has been the most requested recipe lately here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and all over my social media. So you were telling me to make Sloppy Joes, I am bringing you Sloppy Joes. They are easy and they are absolutely delicious. So I'm excited to share the recipe with you. Let's go over the ingredients so we can get started. You'll need some ground beef. I've got some chopped up onions, garlic and bell peppers. Now what I have here is some dried mustard powder, granulated garlic and onion, some brown sugar, some paprika, a little bit of ketchup, some Worcestershire sauce, some salt and pepper, a little bit of olive oil, and some tomato sauce that I took a 15-ounce can of just tomato sauce, emptied it into my jug here, and then I took about a half a cup of water and swirled it around the can and put that in there as well, just because I want it to be a bit more loose. Now what I have here is a large skillet that's been nice and hot now over about medium-high heat with a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to add in my ground beef, and I'm going to break this up as much as I can with my wooden spoon. And it's really important that you use a pan that's big enough because you want to create some color. You know, you want to get nice color on the ground beef. You don't want it to steam. And for this amount, you know, get a nice big skillet with high sides because it's definitely going to make the job a lot easier. So I'm just going to break this up as much as possible. This is looking good. Now, as you can see, I did scoop out some of the fat because it's too much and I don't want all of that into my final dish, but I did leave some behind because now I'm going to add in all my veggies. I've got my pepper, onion, and garlic. And I'm going to season this with some salt and pepper. I didn't season the meat, so I'm going to season pretty liberally because I want this to be, you know, well seasoned all around. And I'm going to just add a touch of pepper. I'm going to stir these in and let everything cook together for about 5 to 6 minutes or until the veggies have cooked down a bit and developed some color. That's looking good. You can see that's caramelizing really, really well. That is what I'm looking for. I am just going to take my brown sugar and paprika and garlic and mustard and all that. And I'm just going to give it a quick stir. And then I'm going to add this to my ground beef mixture. I'm going to stir that in to make sure that everything is coated in those spices. And then you can immediately smell everything that you just put in there. Oh, it smells fantastic. I'm really, really happy with that. This is looking good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, yeah, that's good enough. Now is when you can pretty much add everything else. I'm going to add in my ketchup. If you didn't want to add ketchup, you could add a little tomato paste and some apple cider vinegar. Just like a tablespoon or so of apple cider vinegar because that tanginess really makes the dish for me. And I've never really been able to find a substitute for that little tiny bit of ketchup. I think it makes the biggest difference. So I'm okay with using it if you're okay with using it. If not, if you don't want to use ketchup, like I said, by all means, go ahead and use a little tomato paste and just a splash of cider vinegar. Okay, that is looking good and saucy. I'm going to knock the heat back down to about low, cover this, and let it cook for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, take some Kaiser rolls, split them open, brush them with a little bit of melted butter and get those toasted into the oven, which is what I'm going to do now. And then that way we are ready to top and serve. That looks incredible. You can see it's gotten really nice and thick, which is what you want. You can season this, taste it, adjust the seasoning. For me, it's perfect. I'm not going to add any additional salt only because that Worcestershire sauce is pretty salty. And I did season my meat with my veggies, so I don't need to add any extra salt. That is perfect. Now what I have here are some Kaiser rolls, and what I've done is I've brushed both sides with some melted butter, put them cut side down on a baking sheet in a 400-degree oven for about 10 minutes, and that is what they look like, and that is perfect. So I'm going to just serve up one. What you can do, I'm not going to say it's a bad idea, that just means it's a really good idea. You take some of the meat mixture, you put it on, on one of the cut sides, place it on your baking sheet, top it with some cheese, pop it under the broiler till it's nice and melted, and it's like takes this to the next level. But I just wanted to share this with you because this is the traditional way of eating it. And you can mound this up as much or as little as you want. It is supposed to be a naturally really sort of messy sandwich, so I'm going to do it that way. You're just going to have to give me a minute because this is going to be hot and very messy. I don't even know where to start. I'll start on this side. It is messy. But it is ridiculously good. I mean, look at that. It's almost like a meatball parm, you know, when it gets all saucy. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go back in for more. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get this recipe. I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I hope that you make this. And if you do, make sure you tag me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all over, because you know I love seeing your pictures. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me. Now go make yourself a sloppy one. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.